You caught me putting on my glove. Good morning. Good morning. Whew, boy, this is such a nice day. It's sunny out. There are animals running through the woods around me, making noises. Good morning, my friends. Good morning, family. Good morning, my Without Bounds community, all the babes, beasts, bots, and everyone in between. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. My name is Jordan from Without Bounds. Without Bounds now on Instagram, here every Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock for your inspiration, your goodness, your good morning cup of life. Time to fill this stuff, baby. Time to be here, present in this moment. We got a whole week ahead. We have a beautiful weekend behind us. I hope your weekend was great. I hope that you had a good time being with friends, family, anyone in between. I hope that you had time for yourself to recharge, recover, and to give yourself some necessary rest. You know, that's why the weekend was given to us, and that's why we take it. So today I want to talk about what happened to me this weekend. I want to talk about what it is that I've learned from my experiences this weekend, and something that I hope to share and impart with you, because at the end of the day, I do believe that we're here to help each other. We're here to help each other keep rising. And of course, here at Without Bounds, we're here to heal, uplift, and empower you. We call it HUE for short. And we say we love to add color to your life, and we look forward to it. So here we are today. It is, there's a deer on the path. Never seen one of those. Sorry. So for today, I want to discuss something near and dear to my heart. Of course, everything that I discuss is pretty near and dear to my heart. But today, I want to kind of overview what it is that I went through this weekend to bring me into this mindset here. So this weekend, I had the privilege of seeing one of my old friends from way back in middle school. She is now pregnant, and she is having a baby. Not only is she having a baby, but she's having the baby of a man who I truly admire, truly appreciate, and truly believe is, the best match for her soulmate, the one who she was waiting for years and years. And it's a privilege and an honor to bear witness to something so beautiful and something so rich and full of goodness. That's a good relationship there. But one thing that really struck me was how big his family is and how close and connected all of them are. It's like being at, the equivalent for me would maybe have been like, I guess, a similar event. I was at a baby shower, and I guess the last wedding shower / baby shower I remember was really filled with people, filled with family, filled with joy, people coming together. But there's just something about watching someone else's family who's much bigger than yours that really just reminds you of how much family is still surviving. In this world today, you don't really get to hear about family the way that you used to. You don't get to see family thriving the way that you used to. And perhaps it's a cultural thing, Perhaps it's still intact, let's say, in other places and less intact in others. But ultimately, I learned I was reminded of a very powerful lesson. And not only that, yesterday I got to go to have you ever heard of Sojo Spa? Sojo in Edgewater, I believe it is. And it was a great gift from my one of my great friends. And it was just it was spa day with the boys. It was just a great day to relax and really take time to just take care of the soul, take care of the self. And that's what I want to talk about today. Ways that you can take care of yourself, take self-care or have self-care, and ways that you can extend your life and live a long and fulfilled life through self-care. So there's a couple of dimensions I'm going to hit with this and share with you my best toolkit for achieving self-care and achieving a life that is long-lived. Now, of course, I am still pretty darn young. I'm a young baby, young boy. So for me, long life is a continuous test, and I have a lot of faith that unless, I get into an accident or something, that I'll live a long time. Because investments pay off. Hard work pays off. And so far, so good. When it comes to a lot of the self-care that I have done, it's prevented me from getting sick. It's prevented me from, having a sour, sad mood most of my day. And it's helped me bounce back when the external, the outside world pushes in on us, pushes in on me. So we'll come at this from a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual dimension, as we usually do. I call it PEMs for short. So if you ever watch these videos in the future, ever watch them in the past, know that for me, our lives just are boxed in by these dimensions: the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. And of course, if there's some other dimension that, has to be brought into it, well, of course, your professional, financial life, we can sum that into the physical and maybe even the mental and emotional and spiritual. So let's discuss this. Physical, what does that entail for self-care? Well, notice how I'm walking, right? Notice how each time, I'd say like 99.8% of the time that I do these, I'm on my morning walk. And why is that so important? Well, we are creatures of movement. We are creatures of habit, whether good or ill. And when we walk, what are we tapping into? What is it that we are signaling to our whole being? Well, first of all, we used to be hunter-gatherer creatures. We used to be, dwelling in the woods. We used to be dwelling in the savannas. And our ancestors left the trees, due to climate change. And our bipedalness, our walkingness, made it possible for us to traverse great distances. Our pack animal quality made it possible to survive in great groups. But it's this movement, this movement that was so a part of the day-to-day grind of the prehistoric human, or even the historic human, if you want to call it. We have plenty of records and plenty of evidence to suggest that people were moving a lot. They had to move to go collect the water. They had to move to go make the food. Whether it was men going out to get the food, women preparing the food back at home and making clothes, taking care of the sick and the elderly and the children. People were always moving. And they have the magic number for steps. They say 10,000 steps a day are your key to movement freedom, to staying physically fit at the least. Now, I'm not saying that walking is going to stop you from getting cancer or something. No, of course, I'm not going to, make any wild claims like that. But what is it that walking actually does? Well, first of all, they say sitting is the new smoking. Sitting is the new smoking. That should tell you something. Should tell you how detrimental to your whole well-being, your PEMs, your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual well-being, that sitting can disrupt and even begin to corrupt. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we've talked in the past, if you've joined me on other lessons, that our bodies are what's called neuroadaptive. Neuro what? Adaptive. And that neuroadaptiveness allows our bodies to conform into a shape that either is more conducive to well-being or less conducive to well-being, for no better words. So it's this nature that you have to seek alignment with. It's this nature of movement and nature of, the dangers of sitting that you have to be watchful for. So for me, who spends most of my day sitting, most of my work doesn't really require me to be standing, I utilize this time to get in most of my steps for the day. By the time I'm done, I'll have gotten anywhere from 6,000 to 8,000 steps, depending on how far and how fast I move. And this sets the tone for the day. It sets the tone for movement, for focus, for keeping my mind and body in the right place. So the best parts about walking are that, one, you're satisfying a deep evolved need for movement. We need movement. Our bodies are much more adapted to retrieve and recall knowledge through movement. That's a whole lesson in and of itself. And you're able to consolidate your thoughts better. You're able to think and be less wound up in what's called rumination, which is simply getting lost in thought. You're less subject. You're less of a victim to that by being in this space where you can walk. And it's even better to walk with people, which is why I'm here. So walking will help you to calm the mind, center the mind, but it will also help you to physically stay active. It's the smallest gift that you can give yourself to at least achieve 10,000 steps a day. So that's about 3 miles, I think, 3 or 4 miles per day. And you just got to squeeze it in when you can. It's definitely best to do like after a meal, but for me who, loves to be up and active in the morning, this is one of my escapes, and it's one way that I take care of myself. Because if I know I can sit all day and get as many as 3,000 to 5,000 steps in without being concentrated and working hard at stepping, I may even get as little as 2,000 steps if I'm just sitting around. I don't even have to be doing nothing, but I'll just be sitting around, and it's a trap. So you got to be mindful. You got to be careful. So other than standing and walking, what else can you do for self-care? So let's think about it like this. I am a massage therapist also, as they say, the side hustle. I've been a massage therapist for 7.5 years now. It'll be coming up on 8 next March. Wow. It's amazing. But if there's one thing that I could share with you when it comes to self-care, it goes back to that neuroadaptiveness of the body, the way that we shape and contort our bodies into a specific form. So if you think about it like this, I've got my sweatshirt on, my jacket and stuff. Your body and posture are something like this. If I pull on this shirt or this sweatshirt, what happens to the whole thing? Give you a second to think about it. It moves. The whole thing moves and reshapes to the direction that I'm pulling. So your body has, surrounding every cell, a layer of connective tissue known as fascia. Fascia, or fascia, some people call it. And this fascia, this network of connective tissue, wraps around the cells of the body almost like if you were to remove all the cells and what was left was just the fascia. I mean, it would pretty much take the shape of your body, but also look kind of like a scaffold in a way. And if I'm not mistaken, it's actually hypothesized that it's not muscles that move the body, but fascia that moves the body, which is so fascinating. It's just the muscles that store energy. So, when it comes to self-care, recognizing that this fascia is what is really what is controlling your movement or restricting it. If I'm pulling this in one direction, the whole thing moves with it. Your fascia is very similar. If your body is, your shoulders are up here or they're rounded forward, or your hips are all fucked up and you're doing something silly with your posture, or your feet are all splayed out, these movements and these habitual positions of body, these habits of body that we have, will start to contort the fascia and start to pull it in the direction or stretch it out in the direction that your posture is neuroadapted to or setting back into. So, going back to, how walking could help try to orient the fascia in a fluid way. So what happens is, as you're sitting around all day doing nothing, being lazy, your fascia is actually getting hard and stiff. I know, that sounds ridiculous, but that's what it's doing. It's less liquid, it's less fluidy. It exists in this sort of semi-solid, semi-fluid state. And by not moving enough, you're encouraging the fascia to stiffen. You're encouraging your movements to get harder, your joints to sort of not be able to function as well as they need to be. And if you're going to take care of yourself, if you're going to honor the vessel and take care of yourself better, then, going back to the earlier one, you want to walk, but you also want to be able to get massage. You want to loosen up these fascial tightness areas. So you can do this through, obviously, finding a local therapist near you, or you can get some tools in the toolkit. And what are those? Well, you can get a foam roller. Foam roller is really great for rolling out the back and the hips and the thighs. You can get they just have these little hard balls that you can order on online or find in your sporting goods store, where they're I don't know what kind of hard ball they are. I don't know, maybe a cricket ball or some bullshit. And you can use those to specifically target areas of your body. You can rub up against the wall, whatever you got to do. Obviously, you might want to do it when no one's looking, but you can do it to loosen up those connective tissue tightness areas. I have a device. It's not really a device. It's just more like a plastic tool shaped kind of like a horseshoe. It's called a Sorite, P-S-O-R-I-T-E. This is not an advertisement for them, but I love the product. It's actually the psoas muscle is your hip muscle, so it's down here towards your groin, but up into your hip, up into your abdomen, deep in there. And because we sit all day, it gets pretty tight and can start causing low back pain. So the Sorite is a tool to actually massage your abs and massage that muscle itself, so to target it specifically. And that will help tremendously to loosen up any problems that you might be having with your back. It's a wonderful tool, comes in multiple shapes and sizes, and it's a great self-care tool. So those are my main physical ways of taking care of the body, of having self-care. And by doing so, by making your fascia less tight in certain places, by relaxing certain parts of the body, you'll physiologically change the hormone composition, the happiness hormones, endorphins. You might have even better access to those gratification hormones like dopamine, serotonin, and you'll start increasing testosterone with your movement. And these are ways to elevate mood. These are ways to elevate your emotional state and clear up your mental state. And spiritually, that's what we call alignment. So you want your body moving, you want to take care of this vessel. But what are some other ways that we can achieve self-care? What are some other ways that we can achieve a long life through self-care? Well, I don't know if any of you have heard of a study. It's called the Harvard study, if I'm not mistaken. And the Harvard study was started maybe about 100 years ago now, almost, if not almost there. And they wanted to see, they would track over a long period of time a sample size, I think it was either 500 or 1,000 people, and they followed them from whenever they started, tracking their lives of these people until the day they died. And every year they'd check in and do an inventory. And, it gets to the point now where you've got some people who are living into their late 80s, their 90s, and even to be 100. And what they find consistently with all of these people, and I mean what they actually are seeing on the ground level experience of these people, when it comes to how they take care of themselves, when it comes to how they live a long life, it's community, it's tribe and connection, it's having meaningful relationships. So one way that you can take care of yourself, one way that you can make sure that your emotional, mental state are uplifted and empowered to empowering you to live long and be prosperous, is to have connections with people. Meaningful connections that inspire you, connections that really warm the cockles of your heart, so to speak. And for me, this is why I love connecting. This is why, for me, at the end of the day, my life is measured in the wealth of relationships that I have. You know, they say your net worth is your network is your net worth. And it's a bombshell of a statement, because it reminds you that if you have no connections with people, if you're not, a connected person living with meaningful, happy relationships, what do you have? Do you have a bunch of stuff? You have a pet? You have cars? You need people. We're pack animals. So going back to talking about evolution before, we evolved to be in groups, groups of about 100 at the most. So we're kind of pushing the limit on our networkedness these days. But you want to be connected to others. You want that, because that connection, and when I brought up the story earlier about how this weekend I was at this baby shower, seeing this giant family together. This is just a friend of mine, but wow, this family that I went to see, it's just, there's so many of them, and they're all laughing, storytelling, enjoying each other, and it's profound. It's profoundly enlightening, because, well, good morning. It's profoundly enlightening because, my family's not as big these days. There's a lot of people who have unfortunately died off. And, it brings to the forefront of my mind, I've got to have a bunch of kids. I've got to make sure that there's people for these people to connect with in 20 years from today. And it's inspiring me. It inspires me to want to connect more with people, to want to be a stronger connector for people. Because I see how joyful this family is. I see how joyful and open and happy they are together. And it really reminds me that that's what you do to take care of your soul. You surround yourself with people who want the best for you, who care about you, and who love you. It's that simple. So that's really the dimension of sort of an emotional self-care, is to recognize that you can surround yourself with people who will care about you and who will provide you with a sense of meaning. Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that. So, one of the last things that I'll bring into this picture, one form of self-care that I personally love and enjoy, it's another physical way of doing it, but it's honestly super spiritual for me. And that is heat and cold exposure. Heat and cold exposure. So, obviously, you get the full gamut here. You're getting a complete hormonal soup that's just great for your muscles, especially great for after working out. Sauna is the best. Sitting in there for 20 minutes will increase growth hormone, will reduce soreness for you. If you're someone like me who suffers from delayed onset soreness, then going into the sauna is one of the best things. Cold exposure has been one of the greatest tools in my toolkit. Yesterday, when I was at this spa, they had a cold bath. It was at 64 degrees, and all these people are getting in and out of it. They step into it and they're like, oh no, I can't do it. And I just literally walk in, lay down, sink my body in, and just lay there, still, just breathing. And it's like you're at a spa where there's a bunch of heat everywhere. There's jacuzzis, there's, steam room saunas and all this stuff. And it's like, you know what? The cold bath is where I want to be right now. And the amount of clarity that just seeps into your bones and into your skin and into your mind, it just soothes the soul. You're sitting there, and yes, it can be pretty brutal if you're not trained for it, if you're not used to it. But when you build up that resilience, when you build up that tolerance and the standard that you set for yourself, it is so healing. You are triggering what's called white fat, or you are encouraging, or not white fat, brown fat, sorry. You are encouraging your white fat to beige over and get closer to the brown fat, and stylistically and physiologically help you maintain higher metabolic rates, help you increase fighting inflammation in the body, and it keeps you young, keeps you happy, keeps you joyful. You got to make the cold your friend, or it will come after you. So those are my best 3 self-care techniques. You've got walking. Obviously, I do this every day. You want to get your 10,000 steps in. You want to go for a walk after eating. You want to go for a walk with people. You want meaningful connections. Meaningful connections will help you stay long-lived, stay long happy, and help you survive the long suffering that is the human condition. And then heat and cold exposure. Nothing relaxes me more. Nothing makes me, just realize that maybe you didn't realize it's me. Oh no, bro, I know it's you. I got you. I was on your profile the other day and I liked one of your pictures, so I know what you look like. I know your name. It's all good, brother. I'm happy that you joined me. So let's switch over now. Let's wrap up with the loving kindness meditation. If you've done this before with me, then you know how it goes. But if you are watching this in the future and don't understand or are new to this practice, the loving kindness meditation is another way that you can ultimately care for yourself and ultimately demonstrate to the world an openness and a desire to care for others. So how does that work? It's straightforward. It's easy. Your mind projects images. If I tell you to think of a pink elephant, I'm sure you could think of a pink elephant. I'm seeing Dumbo all in pink right now. But what you could also do is project images of people. And it's easier to start with someone who you feel an uncomplicated relationship with, who you have an uncomplicated relationship with, someone you admire, someone you may not even know, but you care about this person. You care about their well-being. You're happy they exist. Or someone you may love. It may be your spouse, it may be your partner, whoever. It may even be your pet. By all means, we invite you to send compassion to your pets as well. So think about this person, call them to mind, and as I repeat these phrases and blessings, I want you to repeat them with the voice in your mind. And as you repeat them, seek the feeling. Seek and sink into the feeling of wishing this person well wishes, of wishing them well-being, happiness, peace, and freedom from suffering. So go ahead and call this person to mind, and let's begin. May you be happy. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be peaceful. May you take care of yourself and value yourself. May you be free of your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual suffering. May all your hopes and dreams be realized in this lifetime. May you escape the greatest sorrows of this life. May you be blessed with well-being, loving kindness, and compassion. May you be happy. May I protect you, keep you, and help you achieve your greatest dreams. And may you wish this for yourself and all beings and creatures. And now we will conclude with a blessing, a meditation to send out to the entire earth, to all those beings and creatures who need a little bit more self-care. Let us reach them with our minds, let us connect with our hearts, and let us send out this blessing to them, to all beings and creatures who need to value themselves more, who need to care for themselves more. May we all be happy. May we all be happy. May we all value ourselves, take care of ourselves, and protect ourselves. May we all inspire each other to care more for our vessels. May we all be happy. May we all be free of our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual suffering. May all our hopes and dreams be realized in this lifetime. May we all escape the greatest sorrows of this life. May our world be free of hate, anger, cynicism, and doubt. May our world be free of war, poverty, corruption, and greed. May we all be blessed for now and always. May I protect you, keep you, help you, take care of yourself, and inspire you to take care of yourself and help you achieve your greatest dreams. And may you wish this for yourself. May we wish this for ourselves and all beings and creatures. I wish this for myself. I wish this for you, my friends who have joined me today, to all those who join me in the future. Thank you for being here. I commend you for walking the walk with me, walking the path of life with me. It means the world that we can connect as far in the corners of the earth as we are apart. It makes me overjoyed. So thank you for being here. This is a great start to the week. This is Monday in some month called November. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope the week ahead is filled with prosperity, filled with focus, filled without distraction for you, filled with goodness and connection, filled with self-care. Go take care of yourself. Go love yourself. Don't be afraid to take some time for you. It is necessary. I will be taking plenty of time for me this week. I have a lot of great things that are on the table, and I'm super stoked. So I hope to share them as the week progresses, hope to fill you in. And God bless. This is Jordan from Without Bounds here on Instagram, Without Bounds Now. Make sure that you check us out, follow us. Make sure you direct message us whenever you have questions about your life, about needing some guidance. We're here to help. We're here to support. We love you. We're here to help you take care of you. We call it Heal, Uplift, and Empower. We call it HUE for short because you are HUE. You matter. You are here to heal, uplift, and empower yourself and add color to your life. So thank you. Be well. And I will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. God bless. And take care. Bye.